This morning, the shutdown has hit a new record. What we know about a potential deal moving through the Senate and whether it could pass.
Plus, the investigation into a deadly plane crash is set to get underway this morning. Ahead, the search efforts and how it may impact your next package.
I think this vote, even though it's a local election, could have major impacts.
Plus, the election results are in. A look at where Democrats saw big wins.
And the holiday farmers market is right around the corner, when it's set to be held and what that means for the farmers market on the square.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to News 3 Now this morning on your Wednesday, November 5th. I'm Kyrie Onley.
I'm Chris Stanford. We have a lot to get to this morning. We have election results from across the country. We've got that tragedy in Kentucky to get to of that plane crash, and local news as well.
Yes. But first, to get you out the door, let's check in with meteorologist Blaise Keller, who's in this morning, all cheery here this morning. Hey.
The coffee, it's run out, but I'm going to get some more. I saw somebody brew some before we started the show, so it's calling my name. I'm ready for another round of coffee. And if you're drinking coffee this morning in Porter, there in northern Rock County, we're going to head on over to our Wisconsin Mesonet site there, provided to us by the University of Wisconsin-Madison. These are updated every 5 minutes, and they are all across the state, providing us with that crucial up-to-date information. Obviously, we're focusing on southern Wisconsin in Porter. We're waking up at 48 degrees under light westerly winds, underneath mostly clear conditions. We're going to all continue to climb into those 50s by later this afternoon. Planning out your Wednesday in those upper 40s to low 50s through about 9 o'clock, and then we're all in those 50s from the late morning through the mid-afternoon. Plenty of sunshine. But don't be fooled, it will be breezy. Northwesterly winds gusting upwards of 30 miles per hour may make it feel a little bit cooler out there throughout the day. But we're set to stay into the 50s through the rest of the work week before possibly a rain-snow mix moves in for this busy weekend. We're tracking out when the snow will arrive, how much we could see, and before all of that, when we may hear a couple rumbles of thunder. That's coming up in the full forecast.
Blaise, thank you. New this morning, Madison police are asking for your help in finding a missing man.
David Wells was last seen around 7 o'clock last night near the intersection of Gammon Road and Flower Lane. Wells was walking to a nearby gas station to get cigarettes. Authorities say that he has seizures and is deaf. He was last seen wearing a black and white checkered beret, white checkered sweatshirt, navy blue long sleeve shirt, and blue sweatpants. He's 6 feet, 200 pounds, and has gray shoulder length hair. If you have any information about where Wells could be, please call the City of Madison. Here's the number. It's 608-261-9694.
6:02, turning now to the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. Overnight, the stalemate went into its 36th day and beat the previous record set during the first Trump administration.
This comes as multiple sources say a potential deal is now being negotiated in the Senate. The deal would involve a GOP gap bill promising a later vote on Obamacare subsidies. Sources say 24 Democrats have expressed openness to the plan. However, others warn it may not be enough, while Republicans argue the shutdown's impacts will worsen.
We need to stand firm for the real interests of the American people.
As the days roll by, the consequences and pain of the shutdown grow more severe for the American people.
If lawmakers agree on the deal, there is no guarantee a full Senate vote would pass. New this morning, history was made at the ballot box across the country. New York City elected its first Muslim mayor, and Virginia voters elected the state's first female governor.
It comes as Democrats continue to celebrate after winning all of the key races last night. Virginia governor-elect telling supporters that they chose Commonwealth over chaos after defeating her rival by 15 points. In New Jersey, Mikey Sherrill telling supporters to get ready after defeating her challenger by 13 points. And in New York City, Democratic Socialist Zohran Mamdani winning 4 out of the 5 boroughs, making him the Big Apple's next mayor.
Tonight, you have delivered a mandate for change.
Across the country, California voters approving the state's newest maps, which are set to give Democrats 5 additional seats in the U.S. House of Representatives.
Now to that developing news out of Kentucky. This morning, Louisville's Muhammad Ali International Airport set to reopen again after UPS flight went down shortly after takeoff. At least 7 people were killed and 11 others were injured in the crash. However, Kentucky's governor says he expects the death toll to rise. He also confirms the flight from Louisville to Hawaii was carrying roughly 38,000 gallons of fuel, sparking multiple fires in the area surrounding the crash site. The crash also impacting UPS service after the company halted sorting efforts at its biggest hub located near the airport. According to the company's website, the facility processes over 400,000 packages. This morning, the National Transportation Board is expected to begin their investigation into what caused this devastating crash.
Turning now to some more local news. 2 people behind bars in connection to an October shooting in Sun Prairie are now facing new charges.
Investigators say the October 7th shooting on Sunfield Street was targeted, not random. Police say 17-year-old Tredell Morrison and 20-year-old Jeremiah Smith were arrested in Georgia on October 17th and extradited to Wisconsin. The Dane County Sheriff's Office is charging them with 2 counts of first-degree intentional homicide and 2 counts of recklessly endangering safety.
6:05 now. The state's Department of Public Instruction under fire by lawmakers. It comes after a report from the Cap Times found 200 reports of educator sexual misconduct or grooming from 2018 to 2023. It also says DPI has limited resources to investigate these incidents. Yesterday, State Superintendent Jill Underly speaking out for the first time, defending DPI. She says the department is expanding a database to track revoked or surrendered educator licenses, but lawmakers are questioning why more wasn't done ahead of time before the article was published.
I feel like this is just a response to an article, right? Now the public's aware of what's happening, and now suddenly we can reprioritize and make sure we do this.
Dr. Underly also says the department hopes to establish statewide standards, monitor licensing, and strengthen laws. Monday, Republicans proposed a bill to clearly define grooming in state statute, something Underly says she's in favor of.
And continuing coverage of the disagreement over the Dane County budget. The proposed operating budget would freeze 20 vacant positions within the sheriff's office. The budget also lowers salaries of all county employees by 1%. Sheriff Calvin Barrett says he had little to no say in the decision, putting his department in a bind.
First, the conversations in regards to the decision to move forward with freezing the 20 positions was very minimal. It was provided to me right before a board meeting over the phone, and really didn't have the time to process exactly what it was and what were the implications of it. At the end of the day, we were faced with 2 options. One was unsustainable, and the other one provided us with a short-term survivability, and that's where we're moving forward with.
County supervisors say recruitment challenges influence the decision. Sheriff Barrett says the county's needs can still be met.
The Goodman Community Center asking for your help this morning with its Thanksgiving basket drive. The drive provides fixings and turkey for families to make that Thanksgiving meal right at home. Starting November 15th, you can donate the food and money needed to fill 4,000 baskets. The center has provided some grocery lists to make it even more successful. We are once again a proud partner of the Thanksgiving Basket Drive. Financial donations can also be made online at goodmancenter.org/donate.
It's that time of year again. The Dane County Farmers Market is getting ready to move indoors. This Saturday is your last chance to visit the market on the square. The Holiday Farmers Market returns on November 15th. Additional markets will be on November 22nd, December 6th, 13th, and 20th. Each week, more than 65 vendors will offer Thanksgiving and holiday staples. 'Tis the season.
I know. It's one of those signs of the changing seasons, right? It's like the terrace chairs coming in. We changed the clocks. You get the farmers market moving indoors. All those holiday markets popping up too. So I know winter's going to be here before you know it, Kyrie.
Well, let's get to Thanksgiving first. Yeah, you were like rushing fall, and now we're talking about winter.
I know you're
Chris.
You
gotta live in the present.
I know. That's what I'm going to try. I'm going to try. I'll try.
He's always rushing the season.
That's all we can do is just try.
Yes.
And I will congratulate you when you try to live in the present. All right, we are set to climb into the 50s later this afternoon. It is going to be breezy out there, so starting out in the 40s and even low 50s at this hour, but we are set to get back into more of those mid 50s by later this afternoon. It is going to be breezy. Northwesterly winds really picking up here as we head into the mid-morning hours to at least the early afternoon. Some of those wind gusts could be upwards of 30 miles per hour out of the northwest. So it may feel slightly cooler than the actual air temperatures by later this afternoon. Now, we could squeeze out some showers and maybe an isolated thunderstorm as we head into Thursday night, but we're looking ahead to the weekend. Not only do we have a couple days off, but we could be dealing with some snow. Details on that weekend system in the full forecast.
Sounds good. Ahead, why some researchers are saying you should spend more time with your partner.
And a look at where our Josh Spreiter is going. He won't need any roads. Just ahead, a quick preview of the Overture's presentation of Back to the Future, the musical. In the 608 this morning, the Overture Center is gearing up to go back to the future, and they want you to be a part of it.
Well, look, Josh Spreiter is ready to go. Doing his best Marty McFly this morning. Good morning, Josh.
Hey, good morning to you. As the Overture Center is getting ready to go back to the future this morning, the musical will be here this spring, and we're having fun this week because tickets officially go on sale later this week, and we're learning about a local DeLorean replica and the two guys behind this musical magic right here. We've got Steve and Kevin joining us over here. Guys, thank you so much for bringing the car on out.
Oh, thanks for having us. Nice and bright and early here. Nice day to go take the time machine for a spin.
Oh, it absolutely is, and I'm looking good this morning, I think, right?
You are playing the part well.
Well, thank you so much for the props. Kevin, I want to start with you. You know, talk about this car because there's a lot that went into this.
There was a lot that went into this. So this car found us back in May of 2020, which so happened to be right at the beginning of the COVID pandemic. It's actually two DeLoreans that we combined to make one car. Both were scrap cars that were destined for the junkyard, and we found both of them and combined both of them to make one good car out of it.
You know, I can only imagine there was a lot of hours, blood, sweat, and tears that went into this project.
Yeah, more than we can count. We figure somewhere in the neighborhood of 2,000 hours to complete the whole thing.
So why do this? Why did you want to do this?
We love DeLoreans and we love Back to the Future. And we had nothing else going on during the COVID pandemic, and we had all kinds of free time.
Oh, absolutely. All right, so Steve, how accurate is this car?
This is extremely accurate. It's every wire, every bundle, every button is exactly like the one in the movie.
Oh my gosh, so I would imagine there was a lot of research that had to go into this as well.
There was a tremendous amount of research. Luckily, we had a little bit of inside baseball. I worked on the restoration of the real car at Universal Studios in California in the 2011 restoration. So I know a lot of really good time machine builders, and I had access to a lot of just the information that most regular builders don't have. So we were able to source parts more easily and make sure we had the most accurate possible replica.
You know, it's cool with Back to the Future, the musical, coming right here to the Overture. You guys are partnering with the Overture to show off this car. You know, what is that partnership?
It's really fun, you know, having Back to the Future, the musical, finally come to Madison. We've been waiting a long time, hoping it was going to come here. Now that it's coming, it's a perfect chance for us to partner, have the car out here, and just really kind of share our love of Back to the Future.
I mean, when you look at this, we're obviously kind of in the dark here this morning. There are so many fine details that went into this car, and I mean, that's why it had to be such a project, too.
That's right. I mean, we didn't miss anything on this thing. We made sure that every wire bundle is the correct color, every zip tie is in the right place, every button head screw is the correct screw. If you're going to do something like this, it's worth doing right.
Oh, absolutely. Well, guys, thank you so much. We want to put a graphic up on the screen right now because Back to the Future, the musical, will be here in March, but tickets go on sale this Friday at 11 a.m. So get your tickets this week and get ready to go Back to the Future, and we can see this baby up close as well, guys. Pretty cool. If you'd like to learn more, I have all the links you need to know up on channel3000.com. Looking pretty fly this morning.
Very Marty McFly this morning. Good stuff. Josh, don't you love that?
Yes.
Oh my God. I mean, it looks exactly like the one from the movie. Wow, very impressive. All right, Josh. Thanks, buddy.
Remember to let Josh know what inspires you in the 608. You can reach out either on social media or email him.
All right, let's check in with Blaze now. Get a check on your forecast. What do we need to know today, Blaze?
We're looking at breezy but sunny and warm conditions for Wednesday and really through the rest of the week. Eventually, we'll squeeze out some rain there Thursday night into Friday, maybe an isolated storm as well. Temperatures don't cool down until the weekend and into the start of next week, which means that some of that rain that we're expecting over the weekend may turn over to a rain-snow mix. High pressure is moving on in from out west, and that that means northwesterly winds will take on over, and they will be breezy at times, gusting upwards of 30 miles per hour, keeping our temperatures a little bit cooler than yesterday in those mid-50s underneath plenty of sunshine. As we look forward to Thursday, planning it out, mostly cloudy conditions, winds turn back out of the south, not necessarily warming us up, but we will get a little bit of more moisture into the atmosphere, which could provide this line of showers and maybe an isolated thunderstorm, all the moisture it needs to get going here. We're not looking at a ton of rain, especially off towards southwestern parts of the state, southeastern parts of Wisconsin and into the Chicagoland area. You guys might be the ones to squeeze out maybe an isolated thunderstorm or two, not expecting anything severe with that. And by the time we go into the morning hours on Friday, when we're all waking up, the clouds and the rain, they've moved out, at least for then. We could squeeze out an isolated shower or two in the afternoon hours on Friday. Then we jump ahead to the weekend. The weekend system, this green line here, a little bit further south than that yellow line, which is the ideal path that these clippers usually would like to take for us to get that measurable snow. The further south it goes, the more moisture it's going to take with it. So maybe some of those higher end snow totals into more of central and northern Illinois. So what are we looking at in terms of potential snow here? Well, it has been trending on the lesser side, down from about a half a foot of snow projected from yesterday's data to now at about an inch at best. So this is going to be more of that fluffier type of snow that moves with the wind. We'll continue to see how this trends. Is it going to continue to stay at that 1 inch mark or less, or do we start to see that return back into those higher amounts? I think we're probably going to trend on the lesser end. We've been seeing it consistently look that way. And that's what I want to see over the next couple of days is where does the data trend towards? Because that's going to give us that clear picture in the days leading up to Saturday night, kind of what we can expect. So it's a busy weekend. We got a lot going on. It's going to be cooler in the 40s and 30s by Sunday. And we're back into the 40s with drier conditions as we head further into next week.
All right, Blaze, yeah, I got that Badger game Saturday afternoon. We get the marathon Sunday morning. It is a busy weekend in Madison. Thanks, man. In your morning health watch, more than a third of men would rather be stuck in traffic than talk about their prostate health. An Orlando Health survey shows that even though prostate enlargement affects 60% of men 60 and older, 38% of men said they'd rather endure stressful situations like sitting in traffic or even watching their favorite team lose a big game than talk about prostate health. Researchers say they stress here the reluctance to address prostate health that could lead to delayed diagnosis and treatment.
And even a modest amount of physical activity can delay Alzheimer's disease for years. That's according to a new Mass General Brigham study that showed people who walked 3,000 to 5,000 steps a day saw cognitive decline delayed for 3 years on average. For people who walked 5,000 to 7,000 steps, delayed cognitive decline for 7 years. Researchers recommend increasing your daily activity because every step counts. Well, still ahead, Oreo bringing the flavors of Thanksgiving to the dinner table. We'll tell you what's inside the limited time flavors.
Also ahead, how much Badger football is hurting the local and state economy.
Welcome back. Here's a look at what's trending this morning. So if you're an Oreo lover, you might want to try this out.
Is there anything wrong with Oreos that we have to change them?
Well,
no.
Not that I
Oreos are
think.
just fine. They're delicious as they are, but
They
we're just
are.
messing them up today.
Oreo, the brand, is launching 6 new Thanksgiving-themed flavors for your pleasure. Those flavors include turkey stuffing, sweet potato, creamed corn, caramel apple pie, pumpkin pie, and cranberry sauce. Where are we at with this?
I don't get it.
I would try some. You couldn't pay me enough for the cream corn.
The cream corn?
There would have to be so many zeros at the end of that paycheck.
That's, yeah, never ending. Okay, well, it might taste better because each cookie is covered in fudge that's infused with one of the 6 flavors.
Like the stuffing and flavor.
So you got the
stuffing
fudge
infused
and then
fudge
Like
coated.
I think the sweeter ones
Oreo.
would do well, but cream corn?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine that doing well. Yeah, the pies.
Yeah.
I feel like those could do well. Even cranberry sauce, you know.
That
I feel
one
like
I
you could
could-
do
yeah.
decent, but turkey stuffing, can't see that being good.
Neither could I.
Can't see it being good. Well, it does come in a limited time tin, which includes 12 cookies, 2 of each flavor. And then these are only available online. I forgot to check to see if it's sold out yet, but I'm sure it is because people go crazy over these
I don't know
things.
who's buying them.
People get curious. You can't say that you're not curious to see what it at least tastes like.
I can say that with pretty good confidence. That
I would try at least one.
At least one. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. That's promising. Well, if you want to skip the Thanksgiving cookies, DiGiorno's is returning with fan favorite Thanksgiving pizza featuring all the Turkey Day flavors: roasted turkey, smooth gravy sauce, colorful green beans, and cranberries. Got the cheese for you on top, crispy onions, loaded in Detroit style for you. There you go.
The sauce is gravy.
I say slap some marinara on it. When did we move away from
the
pizza?
turkey?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with pizza either. What do we got to go screwing it up?
Back after this. Nice.
Developing overnight, dramatic scenes from a fiery plane crash in Kentucky. What officials are revealing about the number of casualties.
And new this morning, a sweep for Democrats in national key races, how they could impact our elections next year.
Once this farmland is marred, it will never be farmed again.
Plus, growing concerns over proposed data centers, what leaders in DeForest are saying.
And could Badger football impact our state's economy? The answer just ahead.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 Now this morning. I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Kyrie Lee. Thanks for waking up with us this morning.
All right, got a busy Wednesday for you all. We do have a couple of big national stories, including election results from across the country and some very key races.
Yes.
The tragedy in Kentucky. We have a missing man that we'll get to here in just a moment, too. So a lot to get to this morning.
Yes, we do. But we know you want to know what it's feeling like outside. So we have meteorologist Blaze Keller in this morning, getting you ready to head out the door.
Yes, let's start off at our Mesonet site in Verona in Dane County. These are updated every 5 minutes, provided to us by the University of Wisconsin-Madison. They're all across Wisconsin, providing us meteorologists kind of this up-to-the-minute updates on the weather. So let's head on out into Dane County. Verona, we're waking up at 45 degrees underneath mostly cloudy to partly cloudy conditions. Winds are light and out of the west. They're starting to turn out of the northwest, and that means that cooler air will move in today. It's going to push out the clouds this morning and keep our temperatures in those 50s. But we're waking up in the 30s in Boscobel. It's 39 degrees, 42 in Lone Rock, 2 hour east, 46 in Janesville, 39 in Juneau, and 40 in Watoma. We're all headed into those low to mid 40s today, or excuse me, 50s today. Winds will be out of the northwest, gusting upwards of about 30 miles per hour, keeping us on the comfortable side. We're looking at more cloud cover and rain chances to end Thursday, all ahead of a wintry mix and maybe some light snow Saturday into Sunday. Details on that weekend snow chance in the full forecast.
Right, a lot of stuff going on in Madison this weekend. They want to know what's going on. Thanks, Blaze. All right, now to some pressing news here in Madison as police are asking for your help finding a missing man.
David Wells was last seen around 7 last night near the intersection of Gammon Road and Flower Lane. Authorities say he was walking to a nearby gas station to get cigarettes. They say he has seizures and is deaf. Wells was wearing a black and white checkered beret, a white checkered sweatshirt, a navy blue long sleeve shirt, and blue sweatpants. He is 6 feet tall, 200 pounds, and has gray shoulder length hair. If you have information on Wells's whereabouts, you are asked to call the City of Madison at 608-261-9694. Now to some developing news this morning in Kentucky. At least 7 people are dead and 11 injured after a UPS cargo plane crashed near Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport.
The airport is home to UPS Worldport, a major distribution hub with about 300 flights a day. Officials say the plane went down shortly after takeoff, leaving a fiery trail of destruction through businesses and roads. The plane was headed to Honolulu. This morning, we know 3 crew members were on board. At least 4 others died on the ground.
Said, what's all that smoke, you know? And we noticed the smoke coming in the sky.
We could see it through our windows of the plane.
The mayor says the airport is expected to reopen today. The National Transportation Safety Board is investigating. 6:33 new this morning. Democrats celebrating after getting a clean sweep of some of the nation's biggest races.
During their victory speeches overnight, nearly all winning candidates called for a mandate change. In New York City, 34-year-old Democratic Socialist Zohran Mamdani is projected to become the city's first Muslim mayor, winning 4 of 5 boroughs. In New Jersey, Mikey Sherrill defeated Republican Jack Ciattarelli for governor. Democrat Abigail Spanberger is set to become Virginia's first female governor. And now to the West Coast, California voters overwhelmingly approved Governor Gavin Newsom's new congressional maps.
We need to see other states meet this moment head on as well to recognize what we're up against in 2026.
This comes ahead of next year's midterms, which could tip the scales in Congress. The new maps are set to give Democrats 5 more seats in the House and were issued in response to Texas's redistricting efforts. Turning now to the government shutdown, the stalemate on Capitol Hill, now the longest in U.S. history, hitting a 36-day mark overnight.
The shutdown severely impacting air travel, with ongoing air traffic controller shortages causing nationwide delays. The FAA reporting over 400 flight reroutes since the shutdown began. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy warns that if this continues past this week, we could see mass cancellations, flight delays, and the closure of certain parts of the airspace. It comes as the TSA and FAA are reporting staffing shortages that are causing increased security wait times across the country.
In other national news, today the Supreme Court will hear crucial oral arguments on the legality of President Donald Trump's tariff policy under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. This year's tariffs, set at 50% on India and Brazil and 145% on China, have cost American businesses nearly $90 billion. The president promises reimbursement if the court rules against the tariffs.
Now to continuing coverage on controversial data center proposals. In DeForest, folks there are expressing concerns as QTS considers plans for a new campus. The proposal would annex farmland in the township of Vienna. At last night's board meeting, village leaders addressed questions on environmental impact, utility rates, and agriculture preservation. Currently, the data center is an idea.
When controversial projects come to the village, there is quick reaction, right? And that's normal. I think people are concerned about what potentially could come. Unfortunately, sometimes governments don't move that fast.
Once this farmland is marred, it will never be farmed again.
I know what data centers are about. As a matter of fact, I like them a lot. They're very useful. However, they have no business being here.
QTS plans to submit zoning applications to DeForest this month.
AI is evolving and becoming a bigger part of our everyday lives. Concerns about its impact on the job market are dominating headlines. A JP Morgan study shows the unemployment rate for college grads hit a 4-year high of 5.8% back in March. It's not just white-collar jobs at risk. AI threatens other sectors, too. We spoke with an expert at UW-Madison to learn more.
I mean, listen, it's a reality. So there will be jobs displaced by AI. Self-driving trucks launched in Texas 2 months ago. And there's a world where trucks are being driven by AI.
Tune in tonight at 10 for Surviving AI. News 3 Now's Jalen Banks brings us answers on AI's growth and its impact on the workforce.
New this morning, Rock County Sheriff's Office actively investigating a car crash that killed a 15-year-old and injured 3 others, including the 17-year-old driver. It happened yesterday afternoon around 3:45 South Emerald Grove, East Larson Road, just north of Turtle Creek in Bradford. Driver lost control, leading to a deadly accident. The driver has been taken into custody. The sheriff's office says it's an active investigation.
This morning, workers at Mercy Health East Clinic are preparing to return to work after reaching a deal to end a months-long strike. UAW Local 95 members walked off in July, demanding better security, higher wages, and improved benefits. While the deal specifics remain undisclosed, union reps confirmed they couldn't secure changes to health insurance premiums. Mercy Health has not commented yet. We'll keep you updated as we learn more.
New research shows the Badger football program's poor performance this season could hurt not only Madison's economy, but the entire state. Season ticket sales and attendance are down after the Badgers' declining performance. A report from UW-Madison Research shows that if this continues, it could reduce the program's profit by 20%. This could affect other athletic programs as well and put them at risk. In Madison, the losing streak could shrink the economy by $160 million. Statewide, it could shrink $280 million. The study also shows student applications could decline.
It feels like we're showing up later, we're leaving earlier, and I mean, I'm not going to judge anyone that does that because there's no reason why we should stay till the end of the game.
Another study published yesterday shows that even when Badger performance is bad, Camp Randall still ranks #1 when it comes to beer sales.
And with that being said, this Saturday, UW football returns to Camp Randall for a critical showdown against the Washington Huskies. Kickoff is scheduled for 3:30. It will air on the Big Ten Network. This is a pivotal moment in the season. After the bye week, the Badgers have a chance to really just rally together and make a statement in front of the home crowd. Tonight, the UW women's basketball team plays their home opener against the Oakland Golden Grizzlies. Tip-off is 6:30 p.m. at the Kohl Center with streaming on Big Ten Plus. You can also catch radio coverage on 1070 The Game and the iHeartRadio app. It's a new era for the Badgers under head coach Robin Pinchton in her first season. Key returners include Ronnie Porter and Lily Cron, plus 8 newcomers, including MEAC Player of the Year Destiny Howell. This will be the first ever meeting between Wisconsin and Oakland. Catch highlights tonight on News 3 Now at 10 and tomorrow morning right here on News 3 Now this morning.
That's right. Bucks, meantime, trying to keep their momentum going. In Toronto last night, Miles Turner, fresh off getting revenge against his old team. That one's good. Bucks, though, in the end, just could not put up enough points to beat the Raptors. Raptors win 128-100. Hey, remember, you can watch the Bucks-Lakers game right here on WISD TV on the 15th.
And listen to this, in just a few hours, you will be able to spot the closest supermoon of 2025. And actually, that's coming quicker than you think. Supermoons hang low and appear big and bright on the horizon, especially just after sunset. However, today is set to reach peak at 7:19 this morning. So you have less than an hour now. Now, sadly, the Farmer's Almanac says that this supermoon often marks a time when some of the first snow appears in northern parts of the United States and Canada. Me, not a big fan of snow, not sure about you, Blaze.
So this is indeed truly sad.
Yeah. Chris, he's
gleaming.
Yes.
Like the supermoon.
Just bright. Yeah, it's exactly. Just bright.
Can we
as
just
can
put
be.
like a big moon over your face?
Yeah, I'm sure if we had a coordinated ahead of time, we could have made that happen.
I don't know.
But
You need a pretty big moon to cover up this head.
Oh, well.
Just say, the moon. Thanks for disagreeing.
From that.
Like we did. It was like, yeah.
I will say, the moon was particularly bright this morning. It looked nice and full. I got some clear skies to view it on my way into work.
Okay.
Yes.
It is a little bit cloudy out there right now. If we take a look at those current cloud cover graphics, you can see all the white there is the cloud cover. So you may be able to see the moon here by the time we go into the 7:15 time frame. Hopefully these clouds will move on out of here, but it may be a little bit difficult, especially further south and west. Those clouds keeping a little bit of that heat overnight, so we're waking up in those 40s. 39, though, in Boscobel, as opposed to, say, the 30s for widespread areas. 39 in Juneau, though, 49 in Madison, 40 in Watoma, 43 up there in Camp Douglas. Nearing 50, Middleton, Cross Plains, Sauk City, waking up this morning, 48 in Mount Horeb, Belleville, Perry, Verona, 49 in McFarland. And we're set to climb into those mid-50s by later this afternoon, so not warming up a whole lot. We can thank the northwesterly winds for that, gusting upwards of 30 miles per hour at times. Plenty of sunshine, though. Some clouds through the morning hours as the kids are heading off to school. Mid to upper 40s as we're heading off to work as well. Upper 40s to low 50s as we're all heading home. Still breezy, but plenty of sunshine. We got some rain in the forecast. We got some rain and snow in the forecast as well, but we can see both coming up in just a few minutes.
Blaze, thank you. The Overture Center is gearing up to go back to the future. Our Josh Prider brings us there in the 608.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning, moving forward.
And the 608 this morning, the Overture Center gearing up to go back to the future, and they want you to be a part of it.
Our Josh Prider joins us live from there with the Inside Scoop. Good morning.
Hey, good morning to you guys. The Overture Center is getting ready to go back to the future in 2026, but tickets go on sale this Friday, and here's your opportunity to check out a DeLorean replica. And of course, I'm looking like Marty McFly. We're feeling McFly this morning because this is quite the opportunity to talk to the guys behind this project. We've got Kevin and Steve here. Kevin, I want to start with you. What all went into building this DeLorean?
Oh man, this was our COVID project, and this DeLorean was actually two DeLoreans that were both both parts cars that were destined for the scrapyard that we combined to make one good car out of. And from there, we decided to build a time machine replica.
And so this is the Wisconsin Time Machine.
This is the Wisconsin Time Machine, yeah.
Tell us about this car.
Yeah, so this car started out, as I said, as a parts car. Basically, it was painted black. The frame was completely rotted out underneath of it when I brought it home. So that's where we got the second car from and combined the parts to make one good car. And back in May of 2020 is when we brought it home. It took the duration of the COVID pandemic for us to complete it. And once we were kind of getting to the end of the restoration process of it, Steve came into the picture and said, "What are you going to do with this car?" And I had plans just to sell it. And he planted a seed in my head and said, "Let's build a time machine replica."
And
so here we are.
And that's really what it is. It was a partnership, and it took both of you to be able to do this, because how close is this to the original?
This is an exact screen-accurate replica. Every wire, every cable, every button you see is exactly like the one in the movie.
And you know this because?
I do, because I worked on the restoration of the real screen-used car at Universal Studios in 2011. So I was working with the best time machine builders in the world, and we had a lot of inside information that allowed us to make this extremely accurate.
You know, how cool is this to have this here in Madison, Wisconsin now?
Oh, we're super excited. We're home, and it's great to have, the official Wisconsin Time Machine, and just wherever we drive, it's always a celebration wherever we go.
Well, and when you talk about some of the parts on here, I mean, it took you a long time to be able to find some of the stuff on this car.
It did. And in fact, the parts search was actually a lot longer than the actual build took us. Steve and I say we have about 2,000 hours in it, but that doesn't count all the hours that we laid in bed at night looking for parts online, trying to find this clamp or this bracket, or trying to find the right button head screws that need to go on the car. So I would lay in bed at night and just scroll through my phone, searching websites, searching anything I could find, eBay, you name it, messaging people, just trying to find the right parts and pieces. But we finally did it.
Oh, that's so cool. All right, so this is the Wisconsin Time Machine, so they can find you on social media.
Yep, just wisconsintimemachine.com.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much. And pretty cool that they're partnering up with the Overture Center right ahead of Back to the Future, the musical. Again, coming here in March of 2026. Tickets go on sale this Friday at 11 a.m. There's the information on the screen right now. So now is your time to get your tickets this week. We have all of that information, including links, up right now on channel3000.com. Feeling McFly this morning, guys. This is pretty cool. We're turning a lot of heads in downtown Madison this morning, if you can believe that.
Well, the attention to detail is just remarkable. I mean, inside, I got a peek at the almanac, the hoverboard, the mask. He's got the camcorder that Marty McFly has in the movie. I mean, everything is just spot on. Very cool. What a project. Thanks for showing us around, Josh.
Josh is blending right in there. Remember to let Josh know what inspires you in the 608. You can reach out to him either on social media or email him.
All right, let's check in with Blaze. Your first one forecast. Hey there.
Hello. We are waking up on this Wednesday morning in the 40s, and we'll eventually settle into the 50s by later this afternoon. Breezy, northwesterly winds keeping us a little bit on the cooler side compared to yesterday, but still mild in the 50s, and we'll remain there in the 50s through Friday of this week. Now, we could see some rain Thursday night into Friday, maybe an isolated storm as well. Before the weekend, which is going to be a busy one, we are tracking another system that could bring us some rain and then eventually some light snow. It's going to be breezy today, as I said, northwesterly winds anywhere between 10 to 20 miles per hour, gusting upwards of 30 at times, especially beginning here in the next couple of hours to at least the mid-afternoon. Those winds will eventually die on down as we go further into Wednesday, in time for some southerly change by the time we go into Thursday. Those southerly winds bringing back the clouds as we step ahead, future track to 7 o'clock Thursday, because we're just going to build in that cloud cover as we go throughout Thursday. The best chance for rain is going to begin as we get closer to that midnight hour going into Friday. We're looking at that line of showers to develop as the cold front moves on through. Maybe an isolated thunderstorm across southeastern parts of the state. Not expecting anything severe, but I think the best chance is actually going to be further into northern Illinois. Then we jump ahead to the weekend. This is that next round of moisture that we could see. We're looking at rain, snow, and a mix of both. as we head throughout Saturday, eventually turning over to more of that light snow Saturday night with some flurries sticking around as we go into your Sunday. It's going to get to that point in the year where if we have a little bit of cloud cover and especially that northerly wind pulling moisture off of even Lake Superior, we could just get a few flurries here and there. So what are we thinking in terms of snow totals? Well, we're seeing the trend stay consistently at about that inch or less mark, down from a half a foot of snow. Some of our models were trying to forecast here Sunday for next Saturday, and earlier this week still holding on to those higher totals, but they've been getting less and less as we get closer to, say, Saturday night. If it were to be reversed, then that might be concerning. But as we get closer, we get a better picture of what to expect Saturday into Sunday. And if those totals continue to stay down or at least trend towards that lesser amount, then that's likely going to be the case. So we'll keep you guys updated. We got plenty of time still between now and those flakes falling later Saturday night. Next week looking drier with temperatures back in the 40s.
Blaze, thank you. The Sprint is next, but first we have a birthday to celebrate.
I want to wish happy birthday to Levi, who turns 3 today. Happy birthday. .655, time for the morning sprint.
Developing in Kentucky, at least 7 people are dead and 11 seriously injured after a UPS cargo plane crashed and exploded into a massive fireball. The plane crashed while departing for Honolulu from UPS's distribution hub at Louisville's International Airport. Kentucky's governor says he expects the death toll to rise. The crash also shredded the roof of a nearby building. The federal government shutdown is now the longest in U.S. history. A source tells CBS News that Senate Republicans have been invited to the White House for a breakfast meeting with President Trump today. The president has been pushing the Senate GOP to support abolishing the filibuster to make it easier to pass legislation and reopen the government.
And we're starting out in the 40s right now, so send the kiddos off with a light jacket. Take one to work as well. We'll be in the mid to upper 40s through the morning hours. 50s by the afternoon. Breezy though. Northwesterly winds 10 to 30 miles per hour. It's going to be a pleasant day though. Plenty of sunshine. Clouds move in for Thursday with rain moving in by Thursday night.
All right. Blaze, thank you.
CBS Mornings is coming up next.
Our next newscast is at noon. Have a good day.